Robert Mondavi Wines weren't really drunk by a lot of people in the UK, probably only about 250,000 people.
The ultimate goal was to create this kernel, if you like, this unique group who would become influencers and talk about the Robert Mondavi brand to their friends.
The whole philosophy of the brand has always been about gracious living.
Guardian and Observer are so strong in the food, arts and wine, and that's absolutely the gracious living values of Robert Mondavi.
It is the most crowded wine market in the world and the most competitive in the world. And Robert Mondavi wines, even in the supermarket, are selling for about a 50% premium on your average wine. So it was very challenging.
The really loyal, the really engaged consumers are across lots of different platforms. So when we create a campaign where we're trying to create a community of real influencers, then we have to talk to them across all platforms.
The whole campaign was centred around the personality of Robert Mondavi, and he was a pioneer in the wine world.
We built various pieces of media around that thinking, one of which was a 32-page glossy supplement which we gave away with the Observer. And in that we talked about other secret pioneers in their industries or in their respective fields.
What we wanted to do is give it a modern slant and profile 20 of the unsung heroes.
It was just absolutely on the button for the insight that we had about our consumers. It was perfect.
On the microsite we had the Secret Pioneers Gallery, so it took the 20 profiled secret pioneers in the supplement and put them online into a gallery where users could go on and vote for their favourite.
And we know from the research that that really hit home with our audience. They took an awful lot out of that about who Robert Mondavi was and what he'd done, and consequentially they're thinking about his wine.
The dwell time was over 6 minutes, which is absolutely staggering, and again it's a massive indicator of the user engagement on the site. We also produced 4 wine videos that covered off things like style and region and grape. It would ask questions and give people insight into these different areas. The tone was someone that wanted to be able to pick up a wine list and feel confident ordering a bottle of wine.
Instead of a sort of straightforward advertorial space, we created something we called the knowledge files. And this was designed to run over time. So each week in Observer magazine, we were giving our audience knowledge around a specific area.
It was at the right level, it wasn't dumbing down. People would learn about it if they knew something about it, but would also take something from it if they didn't. We ran these knowledge files across a series of passion points. So it was art, it was literature, pop, opera, travel, theatre.
And the idea was that it would give you social ammunition. You could talk about this at dinner parties, but crucially it would associate the Robert Mondavi brand with these high-end pursuits.
The client absolutely loved them and believes that they change the perception of our audience. We recommended that we run a competition for this campaign, and we hosted it online predominantly, but we also ran a page in Observer magazine.
The only possible prize was a trip to California. It would have to be all expenses paid. It would have to visit the winery. If you were going to do this education job about the wine, that had to be the prize.
And actually the feedback from the winner was a really positive and a really happy one.
The key thing for me about the campaign was it did more than just raise awareness. We got real engagement with the kind of people we wanted to talk to, but overall was the fantastic commercial results that we got out of it. It had a direct effect in getting listings and distribution with the likes of All But One, Hilton, Thistle Hotels, McDonald Hotels, but it also meant that online we got greater distribution with the likes of Virgin Wines and some really great work with Lay & Wheeler. At the start of last year, about 15% of our wines were sold on-premise, and by the end of last year it was 25%.
I think if you talk to Constellation Wines, they would tell you that this campaign is now the template for how they would roll out the brand to any other market in Europe.
It was just phenomenal. Everyone was so excited and so pleased, and I know the client is absolutely ecstatic.
I've done many campaigns, but this one, without question, is the most effective I've ever had.